And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. New question. What do you think about the new Dancer Band of Heroes? I think it's cool. Again, just really going full force with these dancers and, you know, just embodying the best aspects of them. So it was cool. Nice spin on it. New question. Who are you looking forward to playing as in Waifu Warriors? I look forward to playing as Xander because of his mounted thing, and I like Xander. Camilla because of her wyvern, I like Camilla and the way she's incorporating magic. And Lynn because it's Lynn. So I'm looking forward to playing as them the most. Okay, moving on. Have you ever looked interested in the Persona franchise? Yes, because during uni, my friends at the anime, like my really close friends that I lived with, Ollie especially, he would go on and on about how amazing Persona 4 was, his favourite game of all time, and he described why, and it's like, okay, that's cool. I remember a lot of my friends like played Persona Q, and, you know, what do you call it? People just talking how great Persona was, so I was like, okay, it looks really cool. And then everyone's going out about Persona 5, and I brought Persona 3, I haven't played it yet, but everyone's going on to tell me how great that was, so I'm gonna get around to Persona at some point. At this point, I can't avoid it, and I might as well just bite the bullet, because it looks cool. Okay, cool, next question. Considering Fire Emblem has been constantly comparable to medieval age of Europe, what would your thoughts on a setting based around Renaissance Europe during a period such as the 30-Year War or a steampunk setting? I actually really like the Renaissance period idea, because during the Renaissance period is when we moved away from, like, the culture moved from, like, believing in religious practices and God and focused more on, like, science and stuff like that. So I think it would make for an interesting conflict where you have a new generation of people looking at things more, you know, scientifically and stuff like that. And you have the old generation who are still stuck in, you know, the more religious teachings. And neither side are right or wrong. It's just a case of a clash of ideals, which I think would be a really, really awesome way to go about it. Because it would make for both a realistic, contemporary, and understandable conflict. So I really like that. Steampunk setting would be also cool because it would allow for a slightly different type story. Because I reckon it would be more personal Fire Emblem story rather than grand scale war. But I also think it would allow for a lot more unique classes and abilities and skills and characters. So it would definitely be the more unique Fire Emblem game. So I'm down with both of those settings, you know. That's a good idea you pitched. I'm down with that. That's a really good level up, minus strength, but everything else. Goddamn. Goddamn. Alright. Oh, we're approaching the end. And we're approaching the end of these questions, so not long now. Okay. Next question. Will you be Let's Playing a spin-off Pokemon game? Yeah, I don't know how many I'll do, but I'm definitely Let's Playing some of them. The one I'm definitely going to Let's Play because I own it and I love it is Pokemon Colosseum, so you can look forward to that, people. Okay. Question. What games have you found to be the most disappointing? I have 3 in particular. I don't count Shadow the Hedgehog because I kind of knew going in that game wasn't going to be very good, and it was. And it wasn't. So, Crash Tag Team Racing was disappointing because it looks so cool having a mix of both kart racing and platforming, but both the kart racing and the platforming is so basic. The kart racing is also broken, you know, it's so easy to just exploit it. But the platforming, while not bad, it's basic at best, and, you know, it's just average. That's the thing, the game is average, but it looked like it could be so cool. Devil May Cry, because my expectations were too high going in. Because like, I played other hack and slashes and I was looking forward to going back to the first one, but then I saw how dated it was and I was disappointed. I can't really blame the game for it, and I will go back to it and give it a fair chance, but at the time I was disappointed because, you know, when you play other games you can see how, you know, I appreciate what Devil May Cry does, but you definitely see how it's aged. And the other one is Super Mario 3D Land, because while it is a perfectly competent, well-made, fine Mario game, it lacks charm, it lacks personality, and it looked really cool, but it was just kind of, you know, it's such a bare bones Mario game. Not bad by any means, but bare bones. Okay. Next question. If Binding Blade Remake were to happen, will it be a good idea to combine it with Blazing Sword? Like, whatever happens to Blazing Sword will affect the story in Binding Blade. Or should they be both completely separate games? Yeah, everyone's going on about this. Yes, it would be a good idea to combine the two, have the Blazing Sword characters more involved, and maybe depending on what you do, it will transfer over to certain events. Like, maybe... I'm trying to think. Like, maybe someone dies in Blazing Sword, they don't appear in Binding Blade, or maybe if you unlock certain people. Like, let's say you unlock Corel in Blazing Sword, maybe you can get him earlier in Binding Blade. Or, let's say if you get Carla and Barter maybe first starts with like additional bonuses, where if you don't, she just starts base normal. So something like that would be cool. My only thing is, only make them separate if you have to squash down or cut out some of Binding Blade and Blade Sword, because you should not do that. In fact, you should add to both games to give them more content. They probably won't have to, because they were able to fit all 3 Fates pathways onto a single cart. I have the cart to prove it. I got Special Edition, they had all 3 on a single cart, they can do it. So if they can do that, they can probably do Blade and Sword. If they have to cut it down, definitely make a separate games, but have it so you can transfer the data over. Okay. What do you think of the Project X Zone games? I haven't played them, so I can't say, but they definitely seem like a cool thing. I know their reception's been like mixed to positive, so, you know, I'll try them out at some point. And last question from this person, would you like to see a Fire Emblem fighter game? If so, if you do, would you like it to be 2D like a traditional fighting game, or 3D like Soul Calibur style? We already have a Fire Emblem fighting game, it's called Smash Bros. For the Wii U and 3DS, I've made that joke before. Yes, I would. 2D sounds cool if they go for more like an Arc System BlazBlue effect, but I think Soul Calibur just suits Fire Emblem better, so I prefer a Soul Calibur game, but I would not be against a 2D style Arc System one. Okay, so new questions. Who are your favourite Elite Four members of each region? You can choose 2 if you like. From Kanto, it's Lorelei and Lance, because Lorelei was the only one I felt was kind of cool, and Lance because Dragon type thing, because in the thing he's Elite Four, he's not champion. In Gen 2, Koga and Karen. Koga because I liked him in the original, now he's, you know, a thing and he's a fucking ninja. And Karen because she was cool with the dark types and everything, which, you know, back then was kind of unique. In Gen 3, Drake, because Drake just looked like a fucking baller, you know, sea captain. You could call him Davy Jones for all I care, he looked awesome. Bertha, because she was kind of cool with her ground types. You know, the Gen 4 Elite Four members are kind of the most bland to me, but she was cool. Caitlyn I liked because I liked her design, and even though it was kind of silly, and she had the psychic types and stuff like that, she was kind of cute as well. And for Gen 6, Malva, because, you know, kind of like the Team Flare thing, fiery redhead, she just seemed really, really cool. Gen 7 I haven't got that far, so I can't say. Favorite Kirby copy ability? Well, I barely play Kirby, but I'm going to go with Sword, because in the Amazing Mirror, I like Sword. You just slice them up. That was cool. Have you ever played any Mario and Luigi game? Yeah, I played a little bit of Superstar Saga and I liked it, and I have it on the Wii Virtual Console, so I plan to go back to it, especially because I hear it's the overall best, I think. And I also played Bowser's Inside Story, which is one of my favorite RPGs. I absolutely loved Bowser's Inside Story. That was a fantastic game. The other ones I haven't played, though. I haven't played Dream Team or Partners in Time. And I got to play Path of Radiance, which I look forward to. Okay. Just need a quick drink. Okay. Have you ever played any of the Fossil Fighter games, and what are your favourite characters? Sorry to say, but I haven't played them, so I have no opinion on the games and the characters. Now for something new. Who are your favourite characters in My Hero Academia? Okay, my favourites. Deku, because I think he's a wonderful protagonist that we can all relate to. He's both cute and cool, and I like his, you know, just arc. Froppy, because she's my absolute favourite. I think her actual quirk is probably a bit underrated. And, you know, she has a lot of abilities that are really cool. I like how, you know, just open-minded she is to saying things. She's both cute, funny, and there's just something about Froppy that's just like, she has this charm that no one else does. I like Urka, or Uravity, however you say it. She's absolutely adorable, but she has her own, you know, pride and really cool arc about her parents, and even the way she tries to take on Bakugo is really, really cool, and I like, I just think she's a sweetheart. Midnight I really like because she's one of those, I'm sexy and I know it, but I'm cool at the same time. I think her quirk's one of the more useful ones, especially for being like a hero, not so much a fighter, but more of a hero. I like her design, it's fan service, but it's done right, and I just love Midnight, she's just awesome. I really like Todoroki because he's definitely one of the more complex characters, he's one of the strongest. I like the way his character's progressing. You know, he's kind of like the anti-hero type, you know, quiet, mellowing type, but he's never like a dickhead or anything. He's just, you know, he has his issues, but, you know, I like that it doesn't completely overbear him. I also really like Momo. I can't remember her full name, but she's the one who could create stuff. I think she's cool. You know, she's one of the more underdog, low down characters, but she has her moments. She has one of the more unique abilities because she's basically an alchemist. And I like, you know, she's one of the more mature ones, and I just, even though they kind of play her off as fan service, I think she's cool. All Might, because he's just a great hero figure, he's all really cool. And I think the bit that really sold it for me on here was when not only did he fight Nomu, but also when he fought against Deku and Bakugo, he did not hold back, because I think Bakugo really needed that beating the shit out of him, which I like Bakugo, but I loved seeing All Might just clobber him to pieces, you're a dickhead, take this, bang! And I think Stain is also a really, really good villain / anti-hero type thing, or anti-villain, because I like his philosophies, and I like his design, and I think he's just really, really cool, because a lot of the stuff he says does, it is quite contemporary, it does make sense. It does make sense. Hey. Have you played New History of the Emblem? If yes, what do you think of it? If no, will you play it soon? No, I haven't. Again, I will get around to playing it, but I do look forward to playing it because I've heard nothing but good things from that game. So, I look forward to that. Okay, so here's an interesting question, kind of like that Conquest one I had. I've been playing Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, and I'm currently stuck on Alyntia's Gambit. Any tips? Yes, I have tips. And if you play your cards well, because I've done this before, you can take out everyone. Okay, here's the tips. First of all, during the right flank from where you start, where all the knights and generals are, have Heart take the position because he's fast enough to double them, can tank their hits, and strong enough to kill them in one round, most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. Have Nephany tank the left because she has a javelin and stuff, she can take on a lot of the archer units, and she has good resistance, she can take on the mages, and she has a good speed to double people. So have Nephany tank the left, and if you want, have Brom help her out if you want. Also have Heather there to act as from the top throwing daggers, I like to use that. Alyntia, use her for healing, but also for taking out the big tank units or just picking up people because she can quadruple and she is surprisingly strong. So have her doing in. And what's really cool to do is also have Marcia come in and throw javelins and pick off people. Because they have Kanto, be sure to plan out your moves. So have them attack, have them stand a space away from each other, and then have Leanne come in, use her ability, have them both refresh, and then move Leanne out of the way of danger, and have them both move again. So that's a really good ability. Really make use out of Kanto in this map. So that's what I definitely recommend you do. You just keep up with that for a while, they'll start to fit out, and then once your backup arrives, just go nuts. That's my suggestion to you. But Hara will definitely be your biggest asset. Hara and Alyntia will be a massive help. Okay. Also, have you heard of the FE6 Redux patch where the unit balance is better? No, I have not heard of that. If there is one, please link me to it, because I'd love to play FE6 with better balance issues. Maybe then I can actually use Wendy without people hammering down how bad of a unit she is. And same with Sophia or Lelina. I'd be like, yeah, but in this patch, she's actually not too bad. I mean, granted, she's still a knight, but it's going to be cool. I'd love to see it be more balanced. But I also want to see if maybe they make Shin and Percival not so OP. So, we'll have to wait and see. So if you can link me to it, that's wonderful. Okay. Favorite royal member of Fate you ship with male and female Corrin, support and story-wise, and why? For male Corrin, I ship him more with Camilla, only because Elise and Sakura are too young. It doesn't sit well with me. Hanoka, I get why Hanoka would like Corrin, but I don't see Corrin really feeling much for Hanoka because he really doesn't, aside from, he can go with the supports, but in terms of story, he really doesn't know Hanoka very well. I know Hanoka's always wanted to get him back, so that's fine, but he doesn't really know her well, whereas with Camilla, he's known her all his life, and she's been the one that dotes on him, so I could see more of an attraction between the two. In regards to female Corrin, I see either Leo and Takumi, because I don't see Xander and Ryoma marrying Corrin, because again, they're kind of leaders of their nation, so I don't think, it just doesn't seem like something within their character to do. Whereas Leo and Takumi, I could see it because they both have inferiority complexes and feel like they're not given enough attention, especially Leo. So Corrin being the one who, was willing to support him and get much closer, I could see the attraction, especially because they're not actually related. And with Takumi, I can see it working because Takumi started off not liking Corrin, so being able to win over Takumi's affection would feel all the more stronger, but especially because, he started off hating Corrin, but if he was able to win Corrin over, I can see it working. So those two I can see from the female Corrin side. Okay. Alright. Which FE game do you think has the best story and characters? So if we're saying story and characters as a whole, well, in terms of just story, I'd say Radiant Dawn. In terms of just characters, I'd say Awakening. In terms of both, Path of Radiance. I think the story is wonderful, it works as a standalone story, but also does a good way of, foreshadowing Radiant Dawn. And I like how it's more about, it's more grounded because it's more about icon stuff, rather than just, the more traditional Fire Emblem Lord stuff. So I like that. I like the direction it takes, and the characters are absolutely wonderful. I love the Path of Radiance cast so much. They're absolutely fantastic. Okay. Next question. Would you show your heroes account on this channel? And I know you've been asked this before, but who'd be maining in Warriors? Lynn, Xander, Camilla, I plan to main in Warriors. And things could change over time, but see. Will I show my heroes account? Maybe if I do a special type of Let's Play thing, but I don't see heroes being a big thing on this channel. Okay. What's your favorite class's battle animations in each game you've played? Okay, so for the SNES era, I like the Sword Masters one, just where they jump in and just slice. I mean, the battle animations aren't much in thing, but I think it's cool. For GBA, it's the Warriors one, because I love like just the spinning axe thing, or even the way with the their bows are really cool. Generals, because I love the way they're just with the chain and it's so heavy when they hit you and they spin it around, it's really cool. And Zephyrs one, because that shit is sexy. For GameCube specifically, so Path of Radiance. Hey look, Matthew finally got strength. And his speed is high, Jesus, 16. GameCube, it's the Paladins, because I just think they're kind of cool, even though GameCube has overall crappy animations. And the Black Knights one, because it's just, he just pulls that sword back and just whack! Dead. Radiant Dawn, Halberdier, because it just looks so cool the way they flip about and spin the spear, it's just awesome. Shadow Dragon, I like the hero one, because even though the sprites kind of suck, the hero one's kind of cool with the backflips and everything. For Awakening, it's the Tricksters, I just like the way they're kind of really athletic and stuff with their attacks, so I think it's cool. Fate's Berserkers, because I really like how, like, when they're critical, they just, like, spin and slam down. It's awesome. Echo's Dreadfighter, because I love the way they, like, teleport about the map like a crazy ninja. Okay. New set of questions. Who is your favorite retainer in Fate? Well, if we're talking standalone retainers, just characters, it would be Effie and Kagero. Both of them, because Kagero, for a ninja, she surprisingly got high strength, so that's quite cool. It makes up for one of their biggest weaknesses. And Effie in terms of thing, because she's just so fucking strong and released from Conquest. Character-wise, I like Effie because she has her reason for being a retainer is much more personal. And even though she's kind of obsessed with the whole training thing, I think it's kind of cool just like how strong she is and how much she consumes. And I don't know, Effie just kind of has that charm to her. She's cute and cool. Kagero I like a lot because she's like, with a lot of these ninja type characters, it's so easy to do typical, oh, I work for my lord and I train all day and that's it. What I really liked about Kagero is how she had a life outside of that. Like, it's like, I train most of the time, but when I'm not doing that, I like to drink tea, I like to paint, motherfucker, I want to paint. So I think that's one of the more underrated aspects of Kagero. She feels a lot more human, so to speak. So, she just feels more real. So that's what I really like about those two. Gotta play Thracia. In terms of a pair, like both taking into consideration both, it would be Odin and Niles because I like how they work off each other. They're both strong characters, and oh yeah, I was like fast enough to double Lundgren, so yeah, I could have just had him taken down. And I just like how like even the way they work with Leo, like they're just on the level with Leo. It's like, yeah, he's our lord, but we're just gonna talk to him like normal. So that's cool. Favorite not Disney animated movie? Well, not counting anime ones, I think Western. Iron Giant, because it's just an absolutely wonderful movie. Have you played Stellar Glow? No, I haven't, so I can't say. After that, will you ever Let's Play Kingdom Hearts? Yes, I don't know when, because I played the second one and enjoyed it for a bit, but will Let's Play Kingdom Hearts? At some point, yeah, I will play Let's Play Kingdom Hearts. Okay, next couple of questions. What is your SR in Overwatch? I asked them about this. Basically means what's your rank. I'm bronze at the moment. Haven't played Overwatch for a while, but I think I'm like either 3 or 4 stars. So like 300 or 400. Ask, is it wrong to have 50 hours in a game in over just a week? I'd say yes, unless it's like your profession. Like Gerard the Completionist has to like play games all the time, so that's fine. It's kind of unhealthy, but I've done it before. When Monster Hunter 4 came out, I actually clocked like I think it was 75 hours in like a single week, and I was like, oh my god. After a while, I actually had to put Monster Hunter 4 down because I was playing it way too much. It was ridiculous. So it is, but I've done it before. What is your opinion on emulation? I don't mind it if it's the only way to get around it, or you already have the game. Like if you purchase the game and say you wanted to emulate it just for speed up feature, that's fine, you already have the game. Or like it's a Japanese only game and you have to emulate it, that's fine. If it's anything else, then no on emulation. But aside from that, go for it. Have you seen the Gamers anime? Yes, I have, and I overall enjoyed it, even though it was overall very forced, but it was fun. Why is Crash 1 hard? Well, Crash 1 is hard because, for one thing, the control, while overall fine, it doesn't work for like precise platforming. He's too heavy, so the more precise moments are annoying. The level design's overall hardest in the series. But yeah, I'm leveling up Thing till it gets to level 7. Luckily we can cut away, which is good. So, you know, because we've got to get that exclusive chapter effect hard mode. So it's hard, and it's also hard because of gem collector because you're not allowed to die if you want the gem, which is really bad because a lot of the levels have bottomless pits and Crash dies in one hit. Combine that with the awkward controls, that's why Crash 1 is hard. Okay. What is your opinion on paying for online services for like the PS4 and stuff? It's kind of silly, but I get why they do it, and so long as the service is good, like you get good stuff for a fair price and a lot of bonuses, I'm fine. It is kind of silly because PC gaming, you don't have to do it, but I get why they do it. As long as you all get your money's worth, it's fine. Have you seen or played Danganronpa? Seen it, got it, haven't played it. Will do at some point. Do you buy your games physically or digitally? Most of the time, I prefer physical because when I have the game, I can use it on physically. I can have it on multiple platforms and it lasts. If I have it digitally, yes, while it is more efficient and it helps out the company more, if, say, something happens to that thing, it's gone. I can never get it back. So, you know, I prefer physical. And it's like that with any type of media. I prefer physical. Okay. What is your favorite Jagan archetype? So who's my favorite Jagan? Honestly, it's probably Gunter. Because here's the thing. The only Jagans that I think are actual Jagans are obviously FE1 Jagan, FE6 Marcus, not FE7, he's an Oife, and like Gunter and stuff. I can't remember some of the others, they just don't stick out to me. So, I like Gunter because even though he's not that great of a unit, his character is pretty damn cool. Minus the dumb twists and revelations, and he has some cool support, so I think it's more for his character I like. Does Olivia play Echoes and what's her opinion on the game? No, she has not played Echoes, so she doesn't really have any opinion. Okay. Have you watched, read about, or heard of Yona of the Dawn? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Heard of it because we pretty much all saw that video. It's basically a Fire Emblem anime. It's on my watch list because I want to get around to it if it is as good as everyone says. So, it looks interesting and I look forward to getting around to it. Okay. If you were a class or gym leader in Fire Emblem or Pokémon, which type would it be? Well, for me it would be a Knight or a Wyvern because I'm Blazing Knight. Knight's my favourite class, but Wyvern otherwise because I get to ride a thing. If it was a gym leader in Pokemon, I would be a Fire-type gym leader, but have the more exotic Fire-type Pokemon. So we have the Fire Flyings, we have the Fire Dragons, we have the Fire Grounds, you know, we have the more secondary types, so Fire Fightings and stuff, and the Fire Psychics, the Fire Darks. We have the more interesting Fire-type Pokemon. Okay. Has Fire Emblem impacted your personal ideas as a person? Massively, yeah. Fire Emblem really taught me about like what it is like getting to know people more, because like with support conversation Fire Emblem, it showed what happens if you go out of the way to really try to get to understand people. It doesn't guarantee you'll like everyone, but this is it really showed me that it's worth, you know, exploring more about people, which is why I'm so involved in comment sections in this channel and why I do Q&A sessions. I like to get to know you people better, and it also just showed me how that, you know, nothing is one-sided, and staying true to your ideals, and like how much friendship and bonds mean to people. So it did really impact me a lot as a person. And, you know, Sumia did a lot for me as well, if you've seen with the sports thing. Alright, let's start questions. Who is the most tragic Fire Emblem characters? Leon and Sephiroth. Leon because he just wanted to do good, and I reckon he could have, it's just the Darkstone corrupted him, which is really sad because he had no malicious intent from the start. And Sephiroth because he's just an overall really nice guy and he really wanted to bridge the gap between the things, but he got, like, what him and his race got put through all this time and what he's seen, it's so upsetting because he's seen the absolute worst and lived through it, so that's kind of sad. What is the most tragic moment in the series? In my opinion, it's Ninian's death because while other moments are sad, like Genealogy Chapter 5, or just Leon's death and Grail's death, they're usually at the hands of the bad guys. Ninian was Eliwood's fault, which is what makes it so sad. You know, Nagal didn't do anything. This is all on Eliwood, and it's so sad. And final question from this guy. Who from Fire Emblem would you like to see in the next Smash Bros. Game? If we're gonna have a magic user, either Celica or Leon, just to make it more interesting and have, you know, more magic-based person projectile thing. I'd like to see the Black Knight be like the ultimate Fire Emblem tank, where he's slow, his recovery is shit, and he can't combo, but he's got like super armor on quite a lot of his moves, so he doesn't flinch, but and he hits really hard, and he's got good defense. And also, if they went back to the idea they had with the Pokemon trainer, where you switch between Charizard, Squirtle, and Ivysaur, do that for Eliwood, Hector, and Lyn, being the Blazing Sword reps, where Lyn is really fast and good combos, but she's weak and has bad defense. Eliwood, I can see being a middle ground where he's decent enough, he probably has the best air game and recovery, and Hector hits really fucking hard, best defense, but he can't recover and he's slow, so something like that would be awesome. I'd love that. Okay, final question from the last person. If you don't count generals, what class would you be in Fire Emblem? Wyvern Knight, because, just because Wyverns, I absolutely love them. I'd love to ride a dragon and stuff. What's your thoughts on the Awakening trio in Fates, and who is your favourite free in regards to Fates in particular? Well, we're talking about the trio that come back, so I don't mind Odin, Selena, and Laszlo, because at the very least, Odin was a new class, which is cool, but for the most part, you saw the characters had evolved. Selena had become much more mature, stuff like that. Laszlo was kind of the same, but he still grew up. And Odin, while he was still overly theatrical, he was a lot more selfless. He wasn't so self-absorbed, but he was still Odin. So I like that. As long as the characters, you can see them change and it makes sense, that's fine. Out of the three, who do I like the most? I've liked Odin the most because he was a new class, and again, he's still Odin at the end of the day. And final question, not counting Lion on the Black Knight, who are your favourite Fire Emblem villains? It would be Zephyr, definitely, because Zephyr is just an absolutely wonderful villain. He's intimidating, he's tragic, the stuff he says, while evil, does kind of make sense, and it's just, in my opinion, he's a really well developed character. I like Bakut because he's really interesting, the way the angle went with him. He feels probably one of the most human with the way things happen and he can't handle it. And at the same time, he just has that really cool aura and presence to him that I absolutely love. Nagal I like because he acts as both a complex villain, but also a malicious and evil one, where you love to hate him, but you just love him at the same time. Sephron's one of my favorites because he's so tragic, but he's one of the more complex and deep Fire Emblem villains. And I really, really, really like him. Is there anyone else? Can't really think of it off the top of my head. Well, for now, that's all I can think of. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the Q&A session. Oh, it's been a long time coming, but we finally got around to all those questions. I thank you all for bearing with me, and I hope that you got the answer you're looking for. And I hope you really enjoyed the Blazing Sword Let's Play overall. It's not finished, we still have the final sessions to do with Olivia and Zane. But until I can get that going, that's pretty much going to be it. I hope you all had a great time. I hope you all look forward to the Hector Hard Mode run. And, I'm looking forward to getting you all on board to have your input, so it just makes the Let's Play more interesting. As for what's going to happen next, well, because I don't know when Olivia and Zane can be together, I'm going to have to, obviously, start a new Let's Play. So, with that said, when we next meet, we're taking a blast to the past, back all the way to the PlayStation 1 era, as I revisit one of my most cherished and painful memories of my youth with the original Crash Bandicoot for the Sony PlayStation. Pray for me, people. Pray for me, because this might be the day that my life ends when I tackle you-know-what. But, until then, thank you all very so much for tuning in. I hope you had a wonderful time. I look forward to seeing you for the Crash Bandicoot LP, for Hector Hard Mode, and for when we eventually finish this game. Until then, see you all later. Have a wonderful day.